Hey guys, it's Tinker Taylor bringing you back another A to Z build challenge video. So if you've never heard of this challenge before, I will give you a quick little recap. So basically in February, for the first 26 days of the month, I make a build based on the 26 letters of the alphabet. So day 1 is A, day 2 is B, so on and so forth. And obviously we are up to the letter I at the moment, and that is why today's build is an ice cream parlor. Now usually this challenge you're not supposed to use CC, but I like using CC and I wanted to, so I'm doing that. But when I run this challenge for you guys, I don't allow CC just because there's plenty of people out there who can't or don't want to use CC, and yeah, just to kind of make it a bit fairer for everyone. It's a no CC challenge. So yeah, I'm naughty and I break my own rules, but to be fair, I usually break the rules when it comes to challenges like this. I mean, I don't know. It's not even intentional. Sometimes I accidentally do it, and other times I'm like, well, you know, it's got purpose. Cheating with purpose, breaking the rules with purpose. That's okay, I reckon. But I try not to most of the time. I really try not to most of the time. But sometimes it's accident. I would say most of the time it's an accident. Most of the time I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just do this and do that, and then wait, hang on. Doesn't the rules say I can't do this? And then I go back and read the rules, and the rules are like, yeah, you definitely can't do that. And yeah, I should have done it, and whoops, I didn't. So yeah, that's kind of just how I build, apparently. Is by breaking as many rules as possible, apparently. But anyway, I do run this challenge for you guys, but it is not over 26 days. It is over 26 weeks. So if you do want to take part, you get a new letter each week, and you can do a build, like a full building of sorts of any size that you want. It doesn't have to be big. I mean, this one's pretty small. You could do a room. So yeah, if you just want to do one tiny little room, you can do that. Or if you want to do one really big room, it doesn't matter as long as it's a room. Although sometimes I kind of not necessarily cheat with that, but there's some people who've done rooms in the sense of, yes, technically there's only one room within the build, but like there's maybe like lots of landscaping around it or whatever, and it makes it look like a bigger build. So yeah, there's like a bunch of different things that you guys can do. I don't really mind, but you also can do casts. So if you want to create a person or creature in casts, you absolutely can. But yeah, the same rules over at casts. Just as long as you don't use CC and you're inspired by the letter of the week, you can absolutely go for gold. So, you know, if you want to, for the letter C, if you want to do a cat, you absolutely can. But if you want to, let's say G, if you want to do Garfield, that's also acceptable. Even though, yes, Garfield is a cat and you could do it for C for cat, it would probably make more sense if you were to do Garfield for G, because it's a well-known cat. It's a like most people would look at that cat and go, huh, that's Garfield. So yeah, I'm not really strict with that. It's really up to you and what you want to do. But you know, there's an idea for G, Garfield. I don't know why Garfield. I mean, it's probably because my cat is asleep on the desk next to me, and not many people know what she looks like, or know about her and her name and all that. But if you want to build a cat, create a cat. I don't know, cast a cat. If you would like to go into cast and make a cat, and you want to make a notable one, Garfield was the first one that came to mind for me. So yeah, that's pretty much that when it comes to that. Yeah. Ignore me. I sometimes when I record these videos, I'm like, yeah, I'll get in and get it done, and I won't stumble over my words, and I won't ramble and rant, and we all know me, I'm going to just start talking about the most weird random stuff, and I don't know how I even get there half the time. But yeah, look, it's the stumbling over my words. Sometimes I'm like, absolutely won't do it, and I don't, and it's great. And other times I'm like, oh yeah, today we're just going to have word salad. I'm not even going to know what I'm talking about because it's not going to make any sense. And then sometimes I'm like, it either is or isn't going to happen, and the opposite happens. And today I was like, no, I feel good. I could talk and not ramble and rant and trip over my words, but you know, here we are. Not even 5 minutes in and I was rambling and ranting and stumbling over my words, but you know, that's me. So yeah, if you've never seen my videos before, that's a pretty good representation of what it's normally like. And when I'm over on stream, it's kind of similar, but a little bit more chaotic, I feel, because it's all live, and if I don't like what I'm talking about here, I can just stop recording and try again, or like cut that bit out and whatever. I mean, to be fair, I don't think I've ever cut a section out of my audio. I've had to record more, like I recorded a 50-minute video, but it only saved 40 minutes, so I had to go back and re-record some parts, but yeah, like for this, this doesn't feel like it's something where, like, if I don't like what I'm talking about, if I'm rambling or ranting, if I forgot to turn my microphone on, which I've done that more than one time, like, I can go back and try again. But yeah, when you're live, it's totally different. You kind of have to know what you're talking about, and yeah, it's sometimes a lot, but it's good. I enjoy it. And actually, in fact, I got this entire build done over on a live stream, and it was pretty quick that I got it done. When I first started recording the video, again, I did this video sometime in November, so it's been a while since I've looked at it. The recording was 6.5 hours. I think it was closer to 7. And I was like, oh, great. Like, I'm gonna have so much stuff to cut out because it's gonna take so long, and it's a small bit. Like, how? But then I went through and started doing my rough cuts, and then I got to the, I don't know, maybe about like between halfway and 3/4 of the way through it, and I was like, wait, hang on. This is a completely different build. Like, I finished with this build, and I went and started on a different one. Huh, okay, cool. So I cut that out, and it was like 3 hours. I was like, oh, fantastic. Like, I don't have to stress about this. I don't have to worry about cutting things out. In fact, this video is going to be less than an hour, which is just, like, absolutely fantastic. The fact that it's less than an hour, I am winning at life right now. Because a couple of these videos have been longer than an hour, and I definitely get to some point in those videos where I'm like, so yeah, what do you guys think about cheese? And like, I don't have anything to talk about. I mean, I haven't specifically asked anyone in any video what they think about cheese, but it's kind of like that, like where you just I don't know what to talk about. This is just random whatever comes to mind. But you know what? I'm gonna lean into it this time. Let me know down below what you think about cheese. I don't care what type of cheese. Any cheese. What's your favourite? What's your least favourite? Do you like cheese? Do you not eat cheese? Do you only have like lactose cheese? Do you have goat's cheese, cow's cheese? Do you make your own cheese? I want to know. I don't know. That's the new random topic of the day. I feel like a while back I used to do like questions of the day, and they were like pretty tame. Like, you know, I can't even remember what they were, but they were just like little questions of like, oh, what's your favorite build, and what's your favorite inspiration, and how blah 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 blah. But you know, cheese. What do you think about cheese? That's you know what? If we lean into it, it's going to be questions like that, where I'm asking, you know, if you could be any type of kitchen utensil, what kind of kitchen utensil would you be? Like the random questions like that. I don't really do normal questions, I guess. The very very weird ones. I don't know what kitchen utensil I would be if I were one. There's a spatula we have in this house that everybody uses because it's everyone's favorite spatula. And it's really good, but it's also really old. I don't think I would be that spatula, but I would be a different one we have that people don't really use, but it's still just as useful. I think I would be, I don't know, spatula. I feel like I'd be a spatula. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That's such a random kitchen utensil, but yeah, spatula. feel like I need to go get one. I don't know if I have my own one. I think I do, but it's in a box somewhere. I mean, when you move in with a bunch of other people and they've got everything under the sun that you could ever need, you don't really worry about spatulas and stuff like that, you know? Like, I don't own a vacuum. I've never owned a vacuum because everywhere I've lived, there's been a vacuum. So when I move out, I'm gonna have to get my own vacuum. Like, that, things like that I just don't really think about because they exist here. And yeah, that's weird. Like, okay, if I were to move out right now, I would have a lot of the bare necessities. I would have, actually, with the kitchen stuff, that's not even bare. Like, I've collected some stuff over the years with kitchen stuff. Like, I could bake, I could cook, I could do a lot of different things. And, you know, even if the place didn't have a fantastic stovetop, I have some electric cooking things, like a wok and an electric pan as well. Just because, yeah, at uni, it's just easier. It's just easier. Let me just put it that way. But yeah, I don't have a vacuum. And like, okay, like some of the cleaning stuff, it's pretty easy to go get other cleaning stuff, you know, like I don't have a mop. I was gonna say a mop and things like that, but I don't have a mop either. I don't know why that's what the today's ramble of the day is, but yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a mop when I move out. I don't know why that's bothering me. Like, okay, a mop is like what? Cheap. I don't know. I've never bought a mop, but they're not that expensive. But like you have to buy the bucket to go along with it too. And again, they're not expensive. Like you can get them as a set. I'm pretty sure. Again, I don't know why that's bothering me. It's just the weirdest things like that. I'm like, why am I thinking about this? Why is this an issue? It shouldn't be. You know what? Whatever. Anyway, probably should talk about the build. Hey, I don't know why we're talking about mops. This is what I was talking about earlier. Also, that was not English. I'm pretty sure I just made the S and Z noise over and over again. This is what I was talking about. Where I just, like, there's random things that I just start talking about and it makes no sense. And I probably should talk about the builds a bit more. So, yeah, with this build, we are doing an ice cream parlour. I wanted it to feel really cute. Yeah, like a cutesy type vibe. I wanted it to feel like, you know, if you went here, you would, I don't know, just like a cutesy vibe. There's some ice cream parlours that kind of, I don't want to say neutral, but yeah, kind of neutral vibes, kind of, not really cutesy or whatever, but not, I don't know, they don't really have a vibe, and I wanted this one to feel like it had a bit more of a vibe. So yeah, that's kind of what we end up with, and I'm pretty happy with how it turns out. The inside is a little bit, like, overly cutesy, I guess. Yeah, there's just a lot going on the inside, and I guess you'll see that when I get there. I think there's like CC packs that you can get where they're like designed as a whole pack, and the one that I think I used for this a lot was I think inspired by the Katy Perry Sweet Treats pack from The Sims 3, I think. I'll be real with you guys, I didn't grow up with a computer at home, so we didn't have computer games growing up. I don't know, I spent a lot of time reading books growing up. Yeah, like, yeah, we had TV and you know, toys and you know, bikes and swings and all this other stuff, but yeah, I always had my nose in a book as a kid. You know, sometimes I would be at birthday parties and my parents would have to take books away from me and tell me to go play, and like, you can read afterwards, and I was like, okay, and I'd go happily play, but like, yeah, sometimes they'd have to tell me to put the book down. So yeah, look, I don't know how we got onto this. How do we start talking about books? I don't know. Oh, computer games, yes, that's right. So yeah, I didn't really have Sims 3 growing up, or Sims 2 or Sims 1. I didn't really have any of them growing up. So, you know, yeah, it was just something that's like, you don't really, like, I don't really know a lot about these games. I do actually have Sims 3, and I've had it since, actually I've had it since before Sims 4, but long story short, I got it when it was on a DVD, and you had to type in the code to get it from the DVD onto your computer. If you didn't have a computer disk drive thing in your laptop, because we did have a laptop, but yeah, that laptop was very, very ancient, and didn't do too well with it, so I did not, I did not really get to play it, but when I got my PC, I found the DVD again, because I would try and play it on the DVD, and I don't know, I wasn't really big into it, because I kind of didn't realize building was an option, and then, yeah, I tried to play it, and I don't know, it didn't capture my attention the same way it did for some other people, I guess. But then, yeah, when I got my PC, I was going through some of my stuff that was in storage boxes, and I was like, wait, hang on. And I pulled it out, and it had the code still in it, so I put it into the EA app, and now I have Sims 3 on my computer. Thankfully, I did not have to buy it again. I say buy it again, buy it. It was a gift from somebody for a birthday, who, like, absolutely, like, great idea for getting me a game like that, but yeah, we didn't really have anything to play it on, so yeah, it was kind of something I just held on to for a very long time, and in fact, it's still sitting on my bookshelf. So there's a section on my bookshelf where there are, like, all the game DVDs, which there's quite a few on there. Like, I don't know why I have so many. I don't know. It's something that I guess some people nowadays would be like, wait, you used to get games on CDs? Like, yeah, we did. But I've also got actual CDs for, like, music CDs, not DVDs. Actually, yeah, they're probably more like game DVDs than game CDs. That's probably the better word. So I've got CDs and DVDs on my bookshelf, as well as books and puzzles and board games, because I kind of like them all. I don't know. Some people are very much anti, not anti, but just don't really enjoy board games and puzzles. But I do. And I think I want to do more of them. I saw this puzzle, that is absolutely enormous. It is, like, it's 5 digits. That I can't remember if it's like 50,000 pieces or something like that, or 10,000. It's somewhere in that range, of many, many, many pieces. And you actually get each section in its own bag, so it has, like, yeah, like, you have one bag with a number on it, and that number correlates with the number on the big, there's like a big picture of the whole thing, but then they've also divided it up into, each bag gets its own section picture, so if you wanted to if you wanted to do that section of the puzzle, you could just look at that little section, like that, what that picture for that particular bag was. And I believe it's like a world puzzle, so it's like all around the world type thing. But I don't really have space for that at all. Yeah, there's zero space anywhere in this house for a big puzzle like that, and I don't really have, like, a desk or anything to do it on, because the desk I have, it's big enough for Macy to sleep on, and I can guarantee you guys, if I put a puzzle on my desk, she would sleep on top of it, and we would lose the pieces in her fur. She would just consume them within her fur, like, not eat them, but they would just get lost in the fluff, because she's just so fluffy. And she has slept on multiple of my puzzles before. I've had to pick her up off puzzles multiple times in the past, and either put her on my lap or put her on, because I normally do it on the floor with some sort of furniture nearby, like, where there's going to be furniture nearby, especially when you live with a bajillion other people and all of their furniture's in the house. Yeah, you find a space on the floor, and yeah, she'll lay nearby, and I'll do the puzzle, and then when we're done, I'll get up and she'll get up and she'll follow me wherever we're going. Either that or she'll get up and immediately lay on the puzzle. They're the two options. She'll either be good and follow me or lay on the puzzle. But it's been a while since I've done one. I kind of want to get a puzzle board. Just so, I don't know, because some puzzle boards have like a cover that you can put over them. And that's definitely something I want to do, is be able to put a cover over them, because, yeah, with animals in the house, you definitely don't want to leave puzzle pieces out in case they eat them, and it's, yeah, you just don't want to do that. But, I don't know, I think it'd be fun. I was gonna say, I might do puzzles over on stream, but I'm not sure if I would or would not. I do add puzzles to my co-working streams, so if you guys want to do puzzles, you absolutely can. I put in like a little link, and you guys just go follow the link, and the puzzle's on the stream screen so everybody can see what the puzzle looks like and the progress of it and whatnot. And I always pick really, really hard puzzles. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they're always extremely difficult because I don't want to have to keep finding new puzzles and changing them over in the middle of the streams. But it's also something that's like, if you're supposed to be working, it's going to deter you from being distracted. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 thing. You know, I do a little bit of puzzling in the break because I just want to get a little bit of rest and relaxation on, but then it starts to get difficult and I start to give up, which is great because about the time where I give up is about the time where the break is over and we get back into doing like the studying and co-working, which I think is just absolutely, for me it's brilliant. It works really well, but I also see other people working really hard on it, and I know those people are supposed to be going to sleep, and eventually they're like, you know what, I give up, I'm going to bed. And it's perfect because it doesn't trap people. Like, to a degree, yes it does, but after a while people are like, no, I'm going to bed, I'm done. Or I'm going back to doing my work, I'm done. And it's really good, because I know the people who pick easier puzzles, I don't get any work done in their streams at all. Not at all. Not a single thing. But yeah, if you've got a harder puzzle, I will, because I'm like, I've got too much to do to be able to waste time on this. It's going to take me forever, whereas the easy ones, I'm like, oh, easy, I'll get it done in 10 minutes, and then 30 minutes later, I'm still there. And I feel guilty because I've wasted 20 minutes. You know, 10 minutes, you're allowed to have a 10-minute break, but I've wasted 20. Like, I could have gotten 20 minutes worth of work done in that time. So that is why I picked the really, really hard puzzles. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to find a few more puzzles though. I'm really big on picking really bright rainbow ones, because they're really good. If you want to work on the blue section, you can just grab all the blue pieces and kind of connect them, and someone can go work on the red section, and someone can pick like the pink section or whatever, and there's all these different colors that people can work on individually, but then they start to like cross over and join together, so you kind of do have to work together a little bit, but also you can work separately if you don't want to. I'm a little bit of I don't want to work with people. I want to get my section of the puzzle done, but other people like to work together, so it goes well for the people who want to go together and for the people who don't. But yeah, also I feel like it's good for people who may be some form of colorblind, not necessarily like black and white colorblind, but if you, let's say you struggle with like red green and you can't tell the difference between like those sorts of red greens, you can work on other colors. You know, blue is a color that isn't really, I don't think it's really affected by red green. I could be wrong, absolutely could be wrong. I am not colorblind, but it's something that I think is definitely a little bit more helpful for people who are colorblind, because yes, then as I was saying, you can go in and pick the colors that you aren't necessarily colorblind in, whereas if you pick a puzzle that's kind of like one particular set of colors, it's not really great for people who are colorblind. So yeah, I don't know, I do want to try and create one that is like, yes, it's rainbow, but it's grayscale. So it's like a picture that is a rainbow sort of colours everywhere, but then it's been turned grayscale. So no matter who you are, whether you're colorblind or not, it's going to be pretty difficult for all of you. And again, like that, those sorts of puzzles, everybody is going to struggle with them. And I mean, I know I'm supposed to be like, okay, the puzzle's a relaxation thing, but it also deters people from being distracted, and I need that a lot. I get very distracted a lot. You know, I'll be like, oh, you know, I'm doing really well. Like, yesterday, I was like, yeah, like, I finished recording yesterday's video, and I got all this stuff up, and I'm ahead. I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break, and then it was dinner time. So, yeah, sometimes you do need big breaks like that, but sometimes you don't need to do that if you've been doing it every day for a week, at least. So, yeah, look, long story short, sometimes I need distraction, sometimes I need things to be made hard so they're not a distraction. But yeah, look, this challenge is actually going pretty decently. Like, normally I'd feel super stressed with how the challenge is going, but I really don't. I feel pretty good this time. Because I'm keeping ahead, and I've got these, like, okay, loose little schedules, and I love the fact that they're loose because it means I'm not stressing myself out when I don't achieve those goals. And yeah, I don't know, if you're ever getting that stress fatigue where you're like, I just need to get this stuff done by this time, and I'm not getting it done, and now I'm falling further behind, and just take what you need to get done and go, okay, I'm not putting a time schedule on it, but I'm putting an order on it. This is what order I need to put it in, and just work on the first thing and get that done. And then when the first thing's done, move to the second thing, and just keep progressing like that. I've found that helps me a lot. It might not help everyone, but it helps me a lot to get out of that rut that I'm stuck in. I find that when I'm really stressing, when I'm trying to sleep, because I'm busy trying to order the things I need to do in my head tomorrow and what time I need to get them done by, I stop myself and I go, you know what? Yes, you need to do all these things, and these are all the due dates for them and whatnot, but you know what? Tomorrow you're going to start off with having breakfast. That is your first goal. Don't time it, don't anything like that, just go have breakfast. And then I wake up and I go have breakfast. And when I'm having breakfast, I'm allowed to think of the next step. It can only be the next step. So, you know, today my first step was to finish editing this video. And then my second step was to go eat. And then while I was eating, it was obviously like my third step is to do this video. And now that I'm recording the video, my next step is to upload it. And when I'm uploading it, I will then be allowed to pick what I'm doing next. I already know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, but I'm not going to verbalize it or lean into that thought of like, yes, I'm going to do this, or yes, I'm going to do that, because then I will get back into that stress mindset. I do have a list of things I would like to get done, but I'm going to take them one at a time. And for me, I find it really good to write down all the things I need to do, but then put the list away, out of sight, out of mind, and just go, okay, let's see how much we can get done today, or let's see how much we can get done before lunch, let's see how much we can get done before dinner, and just chunk it like that. I even did it for the entire month of January, so I wrote down all these things that I wanted to get done and also needed to get done. I wrote the needed on one side and the want on the other, and I got through a fair chunk of it at the beginning, and then in the middle I started to slow down a bit, and then towards the end I started to speed up again. But the thing was, at the end of, actually it was at the start of each day, I would go through and check off all the things that I had done the previous day. I would not do it the night of, because I knew if I didn't do enough I would feel really bad and stress and not sleep well. But the next morning when I got up, I'd be able to cross it off and go, okay, I got a fair decent amount of things, like I'm crossing off a few things here. Alright, let's see if we can do a similar amount today, because, you know, yesterday that wasn't too hard, we got a few things done, let's see if we can do a similar thing today. And I kind of just worked my way up from that, you know, just getting little bits and pieces here and there done, so that I wasn't, stressing myself out and whatnot. You know, yesterday I uploaded a video and I edited most of this video. That was it, that's all I've done. So today I'm going to see if I can do a similar sort of thing. There's a couple of extra things I want to get done, and if I don't, that's okay. But if I do, we're doing better. And that's just like, it's all about doing slightly better each day. It's not about, being the top dog and doing everything great. If you only have 40% energy to give and you give 40%, you've given 100% of what you're capable of. And that's kind of what I'm trying to lean into is what am I capable of and how much can I give? Okay, cool. That's my limit. That's my amount. Fantastic. Let's work from there. And that's all I do is I just work from there. Today I feel like my glass is a bit full in terms of energy, but low in terms of stress, which is really good, which means I can give more. And I know that the more I take from my energy cup, the more the stress cup will fill, but it's not necessarily 1-to-1. But actually, I would say it kind of, yes, fills it up a little bit in terms of like I've got so much to do and I'm tired and I want to relax, and that little bit of stress pops up. But also, like, the more stuff I get done, the less stressed I am because more of my tasks are being done. So, in the end of the day, I think it's actually better in the long run, So, if you have any tips or tricks below on how you deal with your stress and keeping on top of tasks, definitely let me know down below. We all are different, and I know that, we don't all work the same way, and I know some people, like, the way I relieve my stress is definitely not the same way that other people relieve theirs. So definitely would love to know what works for you, what doesn't. For me, sometimes taking a break does work, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes having a moment where I just go and breathe works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes listening to things like, like upbeat music. Sometimes upbeat music can really get me in the zone, and other times it can really overwhelm me and stress me out. So, we all have different things, and sometimes they work for us and sometimes they don't, and we've kind of got to alternate and work our way through things. The other day I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll listen to this video here because it's really long. I don't have to, like, go find new things to watch. I don't have to deal with, like, this, that, or the other. Like, I can just go watch this and it'll be on. It's a 9-hour video. Like, I don't have to worry or stress about a single thing. It's fantastic. And I started watching it, and I could just feel my anxiety levels, like my stress levels, just absolutely spiking for no reason. And I think it was just because I was a little bit overwhelmed. Sometimes you just get overwhelmed, and there's no reason or rhyme to it. So, you've just got to recognize that, okay, I'm stressed. That's okay. I'm allowed to be stressed. So what do I do to ease that? And all I did was went and laid down for a little bit, and I think my brain just needed a break. It just needed to not do anything and lay in bed and cuddle Macy. And then, a little while later I got up and I felt much better and I got so much work done. So I think I've figured out that I have a slump towards the afternoon. It used to be my most successful work period, but now I'm kind of slumping. I'm also about to sneeze. I apologize. It may or may not come. Sometimes when I sneeze or when I need to... Hey! Bless me. Sorry. Sometimes when I need to sneeze, it doesn't, like, it just sits there and tickles, but other times it comes straight away like that. I'm so sorry. I just saw how loud the audio spiked. I probably should have tried to... I sneezed into my armpit. I probably should have tried sneezing a little bit harder into my armpit. I'm sorry. Long story short, I'm sorry for how loud that was. Look, I had to sneeze. I wasn't gonna hold it in. I can't hold it in. I'm one of those people, like, if you try and stop me from sneezing, like, if I try and stop me from sneezing, I'll still sneeze anyway, and it'll probably make me sneeze more. But if you say bless you to me before I sneeze, that's it. I'm not sneezing, like, for 2 days. And I'm gonna have that tickle for 2 days. The amount of times that's happened, I've had to tell Onion, my roommate, if you do that one more time, I swear I will sneeze all over you. Okay? I'll sneeze all over you the next time I can sneeze. Because he does it so often. Or not, like, often enough that it drives me up the wall. And I don't have allergies. I'm very lucky not to have allergies. I'm very lucky to not sneeze a lot. So the fact that it's, like, the one time I need to sneeze and you do this to me, I will end you. Like, not actually. I'm not gonna do anything. But it's so like, oh, come on, let me sneeze, please. This is the worst feeling in the world. But anyway, what was I talking about? Stress. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There's different things that help me feel better with stress. There's other things that, you know, typically help me, but then will absolutely not work for me. That, like, I could be doing it for a week and it works, and then suddenly one day it just does not work. So yeah, let me know what's your typical stress relievers. One of mine is definitely cuddling Macy. She is such a good, like, I don't want to say therapy cat, but almost therapy cat. Whenever I'm sad or worried, she just does something cute or silly or something, and it just, like, it just lets that all out. Like, sometimes she'll be scratching, I got a storage cube that is fabric, and it's the one piece of furniture she's allowed to scratch. And she's really good. She normally doesn't scratch any other piece of furniture. Ow, sorry, I just pulled a hair out of my head. Trying to pull it out of my mouth. Yeah, but she'll scratch that, and I know if she lays down sideways while scratching it, it's toy time. It's playtime. Like, she is ready to go. We're gonna play toy time, and she's a little, like, a toy on a stick, and that's her favorite toy in this whole entire world. Like, she goes bananas about it. And we'll play for a little bit, and that just, how goofy and silly she gets there, and, like, she's flipping around all over the place and throwing it up in the air and kicking it, and it's just the sweetest thing ever. Like, I know it's like attack mode, but I love her so much, and she's so cute, and it's just that little bit of stress reliever. And even just talking about her, you know, sometimes in my past when I've been sad, people are like, tell me about your cat, because they know whenever I'm sad, if I talk about Macy, that my heart just relaxes and feels so much better. So, you know, it's I don't know what I'd do without her. She is absolutely the sweetest little creature on the planet. Her head also keeps slipping off the desk, so I have to keep holding it up because she's just too big to sleep on the desk. I mean, to be honest with you guys, if she moved her butt down a little bit, like towards the back of the desk, her head wouldn't be slipping off the edge. It's like a weird triangle-shaped desk. So like it's a triangle-ish shaped desk with a step-up thing for the monitors to go on, and she sleeps on like the part where the keyboard and whatnot are supposed to go, the keyboard and the mouse, but there's like a huge amount of space that she could capitalize on, and she decides to sit to the left of the keyboard. Like, babe, you could have the whole desk basically, and you capitalize on this tiny little spot. And your head slips off, so I have to constantly hold it up for you, because when she falls asleep, her head just rolls off. And in fact, the other day, her head rolled off, and she just went with it. She just flipped off the desk. She landed on her feet, and was immediately like, oh, hey, look, there's food, and just went and ate. And I'm like, sweetheart, you just rolled off the desk. Are you okay? Like, she wasn't in pain. I checked, I made sure, I had a look at her, and she was like, what are you doing? I'm fine. I'm just trying to eat. Leave me alone. But yeah, right now her head is slipping off the desk, so I'm currently holding it up for her, while she sleeps. And sometimes when I do this, I can feel her twitching in her sleep, and it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very odd feeling to feel her face and stuff twitching while I hold it up. But yeah, look. She's a stress reliever, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I would not change a thing about her. She's just such a sweet little baby. And in fact, I would love to get her a little friend, because yes, someone is always home to hang out with her. You know, if I'm not here and Onion's not here, there's always someone else. Like, that there's always someone in the house. So yeah, you know, she's never alone, but at the same time, I think it would be nice for her to have a little friend. She has grown up with other cats, and I think it would be good. I think it would be good for her to have a little friend to hang out with. But anyway, we're getting close to the end of this build. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and you know, you can kind of see what I was talking about with the whole cutesy vibe going on here. there's definitely lots of fun colours and whatnot. Tables are actually, I think it's after M&M's. I can't remember if it was Smarties or M&M's, but I think it's M&M's. The colour choices. Because if it were me, I would definitely, like, I don't know if you saw right at the start, there was a purple table, and I really wanted to use more purple around, but I was kind of using the M&M colours as inspiration for the tables and whatnot. And apparently there was a tan one that turned brown and a purple one that got rid of or something like that. There used to be different colours for either Smarties or M&M's, and yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I like the colour purple. Purple is good. I don't like the colour orange. So I am voting we should remove the orange and replace it with purple. Apologies if you guys like the colour orange, but that's my stance. I reckon we should have purple Smarties and M&M's. I don't know about Smarties, but M&M's for sure. Absolutely for sure. Get rid of the orange. We don't need orange. We've already got red and yellow, and the orange is in between them, so yeah. You know, the moosh kit. Let's get rid of it. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this build, and all my rambling, and my random questions like, what do you think about cheese? I don't know where that came from. I'm so sorry, guys. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video and this series and my rambles. And if you do, make sure to subscribe. I come out with a new video every single day except the last 2 days of February. Because I am giving myself a break then. 2 days of nothing. Absolutely needed. But anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.